Welcome back to the Iconist, the most established news and information channel for the Icon Republic. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. It really does help. And if you find this content valuable, why not share it with a friend? So today, we're very happy to be joined by Icon Foundation founder, Min Kim, for an interview which will be presented in two parts. So if you're watching one part, make sure to look out for the other, which will be linked in the description below. So without more ado, we'll head straight into our interview with Min Kim. So Min, thanks very much for joining us again for part two of this interview. And this part two will be a quick fire round. We'll try and keep it nice and concise. These questions are obviously from us at the Iconist team, but also we've gathered questions from people on Twitter, etc., things that we've come across over the last few months. So hopefully people find this useful as well.
All right. Let's get going.
So great. So the first question is about HAVAH, which is, I guess, a project that we covered on the Iconist a few weeks ago. We'll put a link to that article in the description of this video. But this is a tri-partnership, from what we understand, between Icon Foundation, Icon Loop, and 2Bytes Corp. Yeah, just wanted to get a quick update on that project. How are things going? What's progress? What's planned for the future? It seems like an interesting, exciting project.
Yeah. So yes, So first of all, there is a partnership between, I guess, the three entities that you mentioned: the Icon Foundation, 2Bytes, and Icon Loop. But the Icon Foundation is more there as a moral support. We're here because the two entities are actually, utilizing the upcoming Icon SDK to launch a new chain and being able to use BTP for that chain. So, which is the reason why we're, supporting this project, and we're very excited about it. But, when you talk about the actual day-to-day management and operation, the Icon Foundation is actually not involved. It's more of the Icon Loop and 2Bytes project. And, but I do get, and obviously I am interested to hear the development of this project. So I do get some updates from time to time, and, it's, I'm just like gonna be sharing what I feel is, exciting about this project, and only, I guess, publicly available information, because I think everything is already sort of out there. So I think what's very exciting is that we have industry veterans in the gaming industry that is very, very hyped up about this project. So the 2Bytes team is, has the industry experience. The management team there is from a large gaming company called, I think it was Pearl Abyss. They have years of experience, like localizing different games. They have, different clients, large gaming clients. So they look at the various games, so they know games inside out. They know gaming community inside out. So, for them to have confidence and, spend a lot of resources in a project like HAVAH, I'm very excited for. It's very different mentality. I think the Icon Loop team, from what I hear, had opportunities to work with different game companies, even larger ones, but they decided to work with a team like 2Bytes because those guys were very flexible. But more than that, from what I hear, they're very, very, dedicated to making HAVAH very, very successful. So this is like their entry to the gaming world, and they're giving their 150% on everything. So even they have 3 games lined up. I know that there are other gaming studios that will be coming in to the
Yeah.
HAVAH network. It's going to be fully focused on NFTs and gameplays, and it's it's a gaming community, essentially what they're trying to build, and by experts who have been building gaming communities for decades. So
Right.
I think we have the right DNA there to for this project. So I think a lot of that kind of gets reflected just by visiting the HAVAH website. You could see that it's a very different feel of how they're kind of envisioning this new ecosystem. Is very wacky. It's in a good way. It has
Well,
a
wacky
lot
is
of
normally good in the gaming space.
I guess, yeah. So is that you could see kind of a lot of the creative juices flowing in that team. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that kind of all translates to once they kind of launch this network and the actual gameplays and things like that.
Sure. So we did cover it, I think, to a degree in our part 1. But what would you say are Icon's top 3 kind of narratives or objectives for the next 6 months, which is basically from now until the end of the year?
Yeah. So one, BTP, BTP, BTP. BTP is the uttermost important goal for us, and I would say majority of our resources right now is just focused on making sure that we create a very safe, secure network that works, and that's what it is. Everything else is probably less important, but but I'm not saying that other things are not important. It's just compared to our kind of goal this year, it's BTP.
Sure.
Second, it is the Icon mainnet. So as you know, the Icon 2.0 launched end of last year, and we're getting it to a steady state mode. It's it's a great network, it's a great technology, it's great blockchain, and we're trying to optimize it at this point. We're trying to make sure that there's minimal maintenance has to go into this, minimum resources, and we want to make sure that it's very stable, and we want to make it very sustainable for the long term. So I think that is where I think one of our learnings in the past 5 years is that I think a lot of projects don't think about sustainability. A lot of projects wanna, I think, in my opinion, just do
catch the latest trend. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah. It's like kind of all of the above. They want to try, different things, and I think the least amount of effort kind of goes into the actual thinking about survival and sustainability of a network. So, which is why we've spent a lot of time thinking about CPS, and we continue to think about CPS because, we want to be able to continually be able to create a ecosystem where, a lot of the value gets captured, a lot of the value comes back to the ecosystem if we continue building for the better. So yeah, I think that's what I think. And third, I think it's morale. I think it's just with this entire economic environment, with the another crypto winter around the corner. I think you could easily see the industry morale suffering, and I think compared to that, I think our team is doing great. We've we've done a good job the first crypto winter. That was very difficult for us, and I think it was more difficult for a lot of the other projects that basically faded away because for I don't know what kind of decisions that they made, but a lot of projects just didn't survive the first crypto winter. So I think we should be very proud, and we are proud that we are still kicking it and we're making things happen as one of the older projects. But
Yep.
the second time around, I think we're still we're good. We've learned a lot from the first time around, and we're definitely more prepared this time around. So, and then we have a lot of good things happening right now, right? So we have the BTP around the corner. We have the ICE network that is about to launch, and then we have a very strong core community. We have a lot of good things. So we have a great team. We're very happy with our team. We're continually trying to hire more people. So we're at a different, I think, state compared to a lot of the other projects. So I think we're very grateful for what we have, and of course we're have to make some cuts, and we got to prioritize. And I mean, that's what every project should be doing, is trying to narrow down to the essentials of the project, and thinking about how to extend the project as long as possible, and and thinking about the ROIs and things like that. So I think we've been doing a good job on that front.
Sure. Just regarding the kind of current bear market conditions, obviously, as you mentioned, Icon has survived a previous bear market and has come out fighting and is doing well. Can you talk about any practical steps that are being taken currently? I think that one thing that I've picked up on, I don't think it's been announced officially, but you've obviously got the 200 million ICX grant for BTP projects, which none of those funds have been distributed yet. And I believe that you're kind of being cautious with that, I suppose, in order to make the best use of those funds given the current conditions. Are there other practical steps that you're taking at the moment?
I mean, what you just mentioned with the liquidity incentive program, it actually goes into effect when the BTP and Icon Bridge launches. So we're actually, it's not that we're cutting back on the incentives for that specific program. Those will start going out once the Icon Bridge and everything starts
it's actually
rolling.
Ready.
Right. So those are all, and then in the meantime, we are continually talking with different developers, brainstorming, different ways to incentivize different projects. So a lot of good things. We're very excited about that fund. Obviously, with this given market, the firepower of that 200 million, ICX is a lot lower. So, we're kind of crossing our fingers that, things will improve in the next, 12 months, and, that we could better utilize our capital and things like that. But yeah, I mean, we are moving forward with the liquidity incentive program.
And you're obviously assessing companies, as we speak, developer teams for that grant, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Quick question for developer teams who might be watching this. What do they need to do to apply for that grant?
So, I mean, we do have like various, grant programs and liquidity incentive program. All that information is actually on the icon.community website. So once you go there, you could see how to apply for liquidity incentive program. It's not fully ready yet, but there is a place where you could, ask questions. I mean, we have a forum, we have community that could, help out with that. But on top of that, I mean, if you're a builder, we have the CPS that's ready. And then on top of that, our dev team right now is preparing something called the Builders Program that, that could help direct developers to specific areas. And, I think one thing that we are trying to do better is, make the Icon project more collaborative. We want more builders to come together and, contribute in, different ways. And we need to provide like better guidance so that people could actually make it easier for them to contribute and things like that. So I think we've been, part of our team has been focusing on those type of initiatives.
Okay, great. Yeah, kind of focused on the similar topic. So obviously attracting developers to come build on Icon is ultimately one of the key things that will make Icon successful in the future. What is there anything beyond what you've mentioned in terms of incentive programs, developer support teams, resources on icon.community website? Are there any other practical things that you're doing to bring new developers into the ecosystem? And also, what can the community do to help with those efforts?
Yes, if you know a developer, then, again, bring him into the community. I think Discord is a great place to start. We're trying to up our Discord conversion. That's one thing. That's one of the KPIs our community team or the communications team has been working on. So, and it's been showing like very, very good results recently, where we started a Discord community fairly late compared to a lot of the other projects out there, but our numbers have been accelerating and growing at a very healthy rate, and we're getting up there. So we're very happy about those initiatives. So I think a lot of people have been seeing a lot of new members come in from like Harmony and through KuCoin community and from different initiatives I think we've been doing. So yeah, I think if you have developer, friends, or if you know developers that wants to come in, we've revamped our entire documentation. We have, dev leads within the Icon team that's has much more experience in helping, ramp up dev, experiences. So yeah, there's a lot of, I think, good tools that weren't available just 6 months ago that we've built and we have ready. So, and we're continually improving that as we go. So, yeah, I would say just join the community, and we have great members that could kind of help direct you. And I guess one thing I do want to say is, like, as I mentioned earlier today in episode 1, is that I think what makes Icon very unique is that we have a very collaborative environment. So, if we have different validator teams or different dev teams that kind of come together, they put their heads together and they build, new businesses, new applications together. And the results of that is something like Ohm, Balance, there's Optimus, there's like Craft Network, there's different NFT projects. Like all of that is just a wonderful example of, human, human desire to wanting to organically create a community, from ground up. So
yeah,
I
it's
think
something that I've also, one of the reasons why I've enjoyed working with Icon over these years is the community feeling. It's genuine, it's active. There are many practical examples of the community working together. Yeah, so right. I can certainly back up that. Yeah,
and yeah, I think it's and I think I'm the first to admit that the Icon project, we sort of siloed ourselves from the rest of the blockchain, I guess, ecosystem, not intentionally, but it's just the fact that Icon is not EVM compatible, and we've, spent the last 2 years rebuilding our mainnet. I mean, there's a lot of, improvements that we need to focus on that, that we've done. So I think things are just kind of looking up from here. But I think for better or worse, I think this is where the opportunity comes in, where we're reintroducing what we've done, and a lot of teams are quite surprised at, oh wow, like you guys have actually a community, you guys have actually good documentation, you guys actually have a lot of cool things, like a good technology. Like, I mean, these are some of the great feedbacks that we've been getting from conferences and from these type of like BTP partnerships. Like, why would you want to associate yourselves to a project unless especially if you're a known project with good reputation, you want to vet your partners, and an Icon, I think we've continually proven ourselves that we have a very, very, we have a lot of strength. And I think, that these other blockchain teams are recognizing that. And I think that, I think it's slowly we're kind of getting back into, showing this industry, our capabilities and our added value to the broader blockchain industry.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that Icon is maybe a little quieter than some of the other blockchain networks, but there is solid development. There's a solid network and community, and there are things happening. Yeah.
And part of that is, kind of by design. I think, we've been doing this for 5 years. We know the mistakes that we've made. Like, we've, made mistakes in the past by taking certain actions, and a lot of those decisions and actions, I mean, we've learned from it. We're past it. At the end of the day, we want, we believe a solid reputation comes from a solid product, solid technology. You need to rebuild that kind of reputation from ground up. And sort of, you just have to have a strong belief that, that will carry you like forward. And, ICX, or the token, is a byproduct of what we do, is what we're building. And we're not here to, to hype up or talk about, the token. We're here to talk about the utility of the token,
right?
Building use cases.
Yeah.
So, I just think like we have the right mentality, and we have the right philosophy. We have the right build philosophy, and I think the core majority of our community understands that, trusts us, and and I think that makes our community stronger. So if you're like an outsider and you're looking in, and you don't see people hyping up like other projects do, and you think about like what's wrong with that project, but the reality is, like, I think what we're doing is much more novel. What we're doing is the right way to build and contribute to this industry.
Yeah. Quick question about obviously Korea Blockchain Week is coming up next month in August. Is Icon going to be there? If there's developers, I guess, either from Korea or from around the world who are coming to Korea Blockchain Week, can they get in touch with the Icon team at the event?
Yeah, good question. I mean, obviously the Icon Loop team is there, so
yeah, they're based here in Seoul.
and the Icon Foundation, the core team, most of us, we're here in the US and outside of Korea. So we have, some members going in and thinking about putting together an event. And I mean, those plans are, currently being, thought about. But yeah, I mean, I think, a lot of people think of Icon project as like a Korean project, and they're not wrong, but what I see is that majority of our team, we're here in outside of Korea. Like, we're a global project. You look at our community, we're very global. Like, most of our trading volume for ICX is outside of Korea. Most of ICX ownership is outside of Korea. So you think, we are first and foremost a global project. Korea is obviously a important strategic region for us because of Icon Loop and a lot of the strong development, especially with governments and with business development, with enterprises, are happening with Icon Loop. So it's important, but I think I think Korea is like a very interesting at a very interesting place right now. I'm not sure.
More crypto friendly, well, not just crypto, a more blockchain and crypto friendly government. I mean, they've the current president has stated publicly, more blockchain.
Right, but what you have to understand is that actually changed quite a bit since the Terra situation, the Luna situation, and a lot of the projects are being scrutinized. A lot of the exchanges are being pressured to self-regulate, even put together like stronger policies. I think I think that kind of goes back to like how much effort do we put into being in Korea. I think that's I think there are a lot of good opportunities outside of Korea as well, and we already have a very stronghold in Korea. So do we need to, if you have a strong presence in Korea, like, do we really need to invest the money to really with putting in a lot of resources to do large events and things like that, when if you think about the opportunity cost, that it really makes sense. So I mean for one, again, we have different team members. So we have Icon Loop that's going to be there. We have the Icon Fi team, also some of the team members that are in Korea, so they're going to be there. And we have other extended partners that are in Korea, so that's going to be there. So we have enough presence in Korea already.
Right.
So we have you in Korea. So absolutely. Yeah, I think that kind of begs the question, like, do we really need to have a large presence? And I think my answer is no. It's now we are going to do something, but like, we don't necessarily have to really kind of blow it out of the waters.
Sure.
I think we already have a lot of good things happening in Korea.
Yeah. Okay. And for people who are here during the event, I would imagine that simply checking the Hello Icon World Twitter account, during Korea Blockchain Week, I'm sure that anything you do will be kind of posted up there, ways of getting in touch. Obviously, people can reach out to the Iconist at hello@the-iconist. hello@the-icon.ist. And we'll hopefully be in touch with the team as well, can pass on information.
Yeah. So I know that our head of communication, Elise, is already she's already in Korea, and she's kind of putting together or trying to put together a coordinated event. I think it's still sort of up in the air. Is it just going to be Icon putting together putting together an event. Like we might even get some of the BTP, working group partners involved in it as well. We don't know who, but I mean, with more partners, it takes greater resources and more participation. So coordination is a lot harder. So I think she's working through that right now. I know that some of the content team, I think there was a CPS proposal that went up, and I think the content, some community members are coming together trying to create some content when they go to visit Korea. I know some of the developers, for example, the Ibris team is gonna go to Korea for that week as well. So yeah, I mean, we will have like a lot of people from our ecosystem joining, and yeah, I think it'll be a great event.
Yeah, we'll just keep in touch with Elise, and as and when there's updates, we can let people know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be going. I won't be going, but yeah, we'll see.
Great. Well, I think we've probably come to the end of this segment as well. So obviously, if you've only seen this segment, we do have a part 1. We'll link it in the description below, as always. And Min, any final words? We have covered a lot, I think, in these 2 sections. And we'll have articles, written version of this as well. But anything final to add before we wrap up?
I mean, I think everyone should try to keep their heads high at this, in this time and age. I think, as you know, everyone is having a very difficult time. It's not just you, it's, all prices are down everywhere. And I guess due to inflation, your food costs, your necessities, the prices have been increasing, but your net worth is probably down because of the stock market or crypto market. So, but this, as the saying goes, this too will pass, and things will pick up again. I mean, this is just normal cycle of life.
Normal cycle. It's happened before, it'll happen again.
Yeah. And nothing to be too discouraged. I think this is a great opportunity to learn about the right way to invest, right way to do risk management. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put your life savings in crypto or something very volatile. I mean, these are like life lessons that I went through, and maybe some of the younger folks in our community is probably going through today and feeling devastated. But it's like, I've made a lot of mistakes in my past too, and I'm sure, and I've come back from it, and it's all about learning from those mistakes and learning from the market, and not to be greedy, be very realistic about your financial goals, and you just like hitting that goals. It takes a lot of discipline. So I just want to advise everyone to, I think, more than Icon, everyone should kind of take care of themselves. And I think this is, a great time to reach out to Icon community members if you're down, if you need help with or more support in certain ways. Like, I think this is a great time to reach out to the community, and I'm sure me or anyone else in our community is willing to step up and help.
Great. Well, thanks very much for that. And obviously there are some big announcements not too far down the line with BTP, bridge, partnerships. So there's a lot of positive things happening despite the bearish conditions. So we'll be sure to keep people up to date with that.
Yeah, things are good.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Min.
All right.
Look forward to speaking again soon.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.